Two features are very striking. First of all, 7 October is very unprecedented in the history of the Arab-Israeli conflict and the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, and the reaction to October 7 is also very unprecedented. This is the longest war that Israel is fighting in the Arab world since its creation. So already we have the long duration of the war, which is very important. Second, this war is starting to affect even Western political dynamics. We are seeing that in Europe, we see that in the United States, on campuses, in the media, in the intellectual circles, and even now politically. The second, probably long enduring effect is that the cycle or this trend of de-escalation that we were witnessing before October 7 in the region, on the front of Arab-Israeli normalizations or Iranian-Arab normalizations, are probably going to suffer from that event. And of course, last but not least, and it's probably the most important, the Palestinian issue is now at the core of every discussion in the Middle East, while before October 7 we tended, or some people could tend to think, that we can live without solving this question. Here there's a very interesting paradox, because October 7 was partly triggered by the will of the Palestinian actor to remind the world about Palestine and the necessity to create a Palestinian state. And today every plan, last of which is the Biden plan and proposal, revolves around creating a Palestinian state. However, the impediments are enormous. A recent poll in Israel is saying that 65% of Israelis don't want to envisage a Palestinian state, so there's a shift in the Israeli opinion. On the Palestinian scene or landscape, there is a very long reshuffling and difficult reshuffling of the political landscape and sphere before we can talk about that. The Arab context is very difficult because we have a disunity of Arab states that will not probably be united against or behind this goal. And most importantly, probably the international system today is not very amenable to really impose a solution to this conflict. We're not anymore in a context that resembles the Madrid conference or others. This has to do with the American, of course, political dynamics, but also with the international relations, the new Cold War between Russia, the US, China, and others, and of course the rise of mid-states in the region that have also demands to be fulfilled. So I think that this goal, although is now obviously to be reached, logically, is practically very complicated to reach. First of all, the first element of answer to your question is the duration of the war. If Gaza is going to last, as I probably expect, until the American elections, the risk that Lebanon gets into a wide-ranging war is increasing, of course. But regardless of that, everything will depend on how the war in Gaza ends and who emerges as, I wouldn't say the victor, but the less defeated party. If Iran emerges as a player accepted by the international system and the regional system in a solution, it's obvious that Iran's proxy, which means Hezbollah in Lebanon, will also gain some political benefits. If, on the contrary, Netanyahu and others are able to really crush Hamas completely, which is very difficult to envisage today, and to really impose a solution to their taste, probably that Hezbollah will be weakened and probably cornered in Lebanon. Everything depends on the duration of the war in Gaza, but whatever the outcome, I think that Lebanon is going to suffer in the long run, at least on the economic level, on the humanitarian level, on the destruction level, for a while, the consequences of that war. And this is really a relative game changer in the Lebanese politics.